and it's gonna be dirty. You're gonna get this all over the place. Pressed in. And then we have our grease pivot piece. We're going to go ahead and insert that once we put one in. And then we're going to press the other side in like so. Hey, I think I got the A-arms correct. Cover here, once it gets tightened, I think we'll be okay. Okay, y'all, I'm back again, and in this episode, what we're going to do is hopefully, I haven't been out in this garage in 3 weeks. There's been just so much going on. Trying to keep these Outlaw videos strictly to the Outlaw rebuild and not get into other stuff, but man, is it getting crazy. Woo! I mean, you guys want to talk about some crazy times. I mean, just think about what's going on. My God. Okay, before I get started here, go ahead and turn the power on. We're going to grease these after I grind these down because it is going to go to bare metal, so I've got some I think it's NLGI 1 grease, which is good for summer and hot conditions, and it's for off-road use. Also, safety first. If you're going to do this, I actually have a friend that just cut his eyeball with a knife, sharpening it, and hasn't lost complete vision, but it ain't good. That's all I can say. No health insurance. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to put some gloves on, and we're just going to basically get the roughness out of the off the metal, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to grease all these so we have a good base of grease on it to stop any corrosion that might start. Anything is better than what I have here. So, and on this buffer machine I have two I've got a hard steel one and I've got the soft brass ones here. So what I'll show you, if you can see that, see how the corrosion is. And I could probably reinstall these back in there and not have a problem, but we just want these to operate more smoothly. So I'm not real sure how much of this I'm gonna show you, but because I've got to do quite a bit of these. And I'm trying to cut my videos back a little bit on the time frame. Okay, so I'll just show you the one that I've done, and I'm going to go through and do more. See how smooth it is now. And we haven't used a hard surface to resurface it, so it's just going to keep it round. Usually these are coated with like a zinc coating or whatnot, but I'm just going to go in and we're going to do each one of these. So it's going to take me a while. Probably going to just cut to the next segment here. Okay, back to the other workbench. Now that we have our, God, these things are starting to fall. Now that we have our A Arm Bushings, I don't know if they're called bushings, I'm not sure, I can't remember. We're going to go ahead and just grease these up so we are going to prevent any rust from occurring, and they all cleaned up real well, so not going to have to replace any of them. Okay, if you need any grease, Amsoil links below. I probably would have went with the synthetic water resistant grease. I'll go ahead and put that link below. But I got on the website and actually Amsoil.com said I could only buy 1 tube of that. So, you know, a lot of people don't realize that there still are shortages out there. Just one little tip of advice, if you're getting that extra $300 a month right now, if you have kids in your family per kid or whatever from the government, you really ought to consider maybe thinking about getting some extra food stored up and increasing the security on your house. I really didn't want to talk too much about this, but there still are supply shortages. I have not been able to, for the company I work for, my employer, I am able, because I'm trusted, to just go to our distributor of who he uses and just go by and get any supplies that I need. I've not been able to get Kleenex for over a month. It's not coming in. It comes out of Missouri, which from what I understand is the industrial supplier is getting them from Missouri. Missouri's getting them from whoever that's coming up the Mississippi River. There's been some problems with oil leakage in the Mississippi River, and the supplies are not here, regardless of what the economy is telling you. You really need to start stockpiling a little bit of food and thinking about more of your family than the big screen TV right now. The shortages also is entailed into soap and some cleaning products. And some of you might be thinking, oh, well, Michael, I've been to Walmart, they have plenty of that. Well, Walmart bought, after the first run of stuff, a tremendous amount of bulk. As of right now, production is down. So just forewarning on this. Okay, let's get the grease. And this grease is runny. So we're just gonna take our little bit of grease, and I'm just gonna put a film on it like so, and it's gonna be dirty. You're gonna get this all over the place. And I'll use this same grease when I go in and grease the greasers for the A-arms. That way we're not combining greases. And if I remember right, don't quote me, I'm not a grease expert, but I am certified through Amsoil that if you live in my area, my phone number's on there that you can call me as an independent dealer. But NLGI, I think 1 is for warmer climates, and I think 2 is for colder climates. So a lot of people don't realize this when they grease things. They just kind of buy grease. But there are 2 different types of greases for the consistency and thickness of the grease, which a lot of you probably will never need to know that. But if you work on a farm and other stuff like that, that's crucial to know this kind of information. But I might have just got it wrong. But just a personal tip here, I am starting to feel a lot better since my house, and I'm pretty much done with this garage. I won't be putting any more money on this. If anything happens, I'm already looking, I'm getting the hell out of this state. So if worse comes to worse and I lose my job, I've been eyeing North Dakota. I hate the cold weather, but the people in the area look like something that I would enjoy up there. So really don't want to go to Florida because them son of a bitches don't even wear masks. I'm a firm believer in the mask. Okay, let's go. We've got this done here. Let's go to the A-arms. Okay, so we're back here at the shop press, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our A-arms that are freshly painted, and we're going to put our new ball joints in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to press it, which is going to be kind of difficult with the shop press, and we're going to press this in, and on the other side we're going to try to put this little fitting on here so it's got enough room to push it all the way through and get these seated in there, and then put our I don't know, I call them Jesus clips on. What's making this difficult is the paint is really holding these from being pressed in. This one did not go in straight. All four of them. Get that off there. Okay, so I actually had to break the microphone out for this because, well, I had music playing in the background. I reinstalled these ball joints onto these upper A-arms incorrectly. I put them in the wrong way. So I had to push these ball joints back out and reinstall them the right way. The main problem with doing this was I took this ATV apart and I waited 3 weeks to put it back together. A lot of this stuff, if you take this stuff apart, you really need to put it back together that day. Unfortunately, with my job and this only YouTube being a weekend thing, sometimes I try to devote both days, Saturday and Sunday, to doing YouTube videos. However, it usually ends up only being one day. So I'm removing the ball joint here, and I just used a very large socket. I think this is a 1 1/8 inch socket for the bottom side of the base here, and I'm using a 20-ton Harbor Freight jack to install these ball joints down into the A-arm. However, on this one A-arm on the right side, I'm not 100% sure, but I actually think I might have bent the A-arm a little bit. The front of the ATV is together right now, and the one tire does not look like it's sitting correctly, so this may be something I have to come back and address at a later date. The one thing about this ATV that I have noticed is the used A-arms there's a lot of them on eBay. So
I'll just have to take it apart and get a new ball joint and put it in down the road. But this ATV is so far apart that I just need to continue putting it back together. So what we're doing is we're just pressing it. And you can kind of see actually that A-arm move a little bit up. And I think I might have moved it up a little bit and bent it up. I'm not going to attempt to rebend it. If it's bent, I am just going to replace it and put another one in. I had not put in ball joints in anything in over 15 years. So I used to ride ATVs a long time ago. I started with dirt bikes. Could never afford anything. Completely worked on everything. Brought junk home. So I had people ask me where I went to school for all this stuff. I am self-taught. That's really how it is. And I have done everything from maintenance to major engine work. So that is pretty much my experience on this stuff. My dad had me in a race car at 5 years old, turning a wrench at 8. So this stuff comes kind of natural. The sad part is that when I was doing all this stuff when I was younger, once I hit the age of maybe going to work for somebody else, the desire to work and do this for somebody else just was not there. So I tried to keep this kind of stuff to a hobby is what I tried to do. And I'm having a little bit of trouble here with this. I really should have bought, I think there's a 12-ton shop press. This is a 20-ton. The 12-ton is a little bit smaller. And I probably should have got the 12-ton. But I had to do both front A-arms and not just one. So anyway, I got them pressed in. It was just a matter of getting them in there straight. And, if you do this, you might want to actually take this to a shop. Here's the deal. You go to Harbor Freight and you can buy one of these shop presses for the price of what you're going to pay for one service at a shop. So, if you have the room for a shop press, get the shop press, do it yourself. If you don't, take it to the shop. If you've never done this before, there is a possibility you will bend the A-arm. So, looks like I've got it pressed in there, so we'll go ahead and cut here. We're just going to put our clip back on, hopefully. There we go. We'll do all four. Well, after putting those ball joints in wrong, I've had about enough as I could take now. We're going to go ahead and prefab we're going to put the bushings in and the other pieces, and then I'm walking away. I'm done for the day. Okay, so I think I have the right A-arms here for the right stuff. So what we're going to do is I've actually got these bushings, the ones that I use. I will put a link below if you're going to do this. Oops. And what we have is on our A-arms here, we've got our rubber inserts that go in like so. And then we have our grease pivot piece. We're going to go ahead and insert that once we put one in. And then we're going to press the other side in like so. So we've already got one in here. We're going to line it up. We're going to press it in. Then we're going to come back like so.
And if it's not quite even, we're gonna take our fingers and kind of push it in and then make sure that it's gonna turn. So we do have a little bit of it sticking out here and a little of it sticking out here, and we're gonna grease when everything is installed. And I think this is the right piece here. I'm pretty sure it is. And then we've got our bolts. And I can't remember which way they run in for the nut head, but well, they definitely don't go in that way. There we go. I'll go ahead and put our rear one in as well. And we're going to thread our nuts on. We will come back later and re-tighten all these. I've got to make sure that I've got these top ones right. Because I'm not so sure that I do. This is the problem that you run into when you stop working on something and don't finish it. When I've walked away from this for 2 to 3 weeks, it's a problem remembering how this stuff goes together. So we're just going to install both sides. Nice pivot. We've already got it greased. We'll go ahead and put our other one in here. Same thing, kind of press it in. Put our next one on. I just cannot believe I put that piece on wrong. That one's going to have to go through the front here. That's weird. There we go. Then we'll put our back one on. Okay, now with that done, so we've got both A-arms on, and then we'll go ahead and put this on here, and don't forget on the inside you go a washer, and then a castle nut. And this one will be marked LH for left-hand side. Hey, I think I got the A-arms correct. We'll come back and tighten these castle nuts later. Okay, now for the other side here. Same thing for the top. I'm going to go ahead and put one bushing in, like so. Come back, put the pivot bushing in. We'll kind of press it in there. Put our other bushing. One more bushing. Like so. All right. Got a little issue with this ball joint, but we'll see if I can't make it work. Because it's been removed a couple of times, it's kind of gotten wonky on there. But there's ways to fix that. If you can't get, there we go. If you can't get the pieces inside there exactly straight, you just kind of want to wiggle it. Until you can get it. I'm about out of juice for today. I just can't take too much more of this. You guys don't understand. It takes about triple or quadruple the time to make these videos. If I wasn't trying to record this and document this thing would already be together. Come on, that bolt needs to come out. Goes in the back side here. There we go. Like I said, we're going to come back and tighten all this stuff up at a later date. Okay, now we're back to the bottom A-arm. We're just going to reassemble it. Our front bolt, and then we'll put our back bolt in. Woo, man, breaking a sweat. Do not forget the spacer with the castle nut. Had no idea that ball joints were going to be that difficult without the proper tools. I haven't done a set of ball joints in such a long time, guys. I mean, it's probably been 15 years. Put our last castle nut on. See this cover here, once it gets tightened, I think we'll be okay. Okay, well that's pretty much it. I've had enough. I've been out here for literally 4 hours doing this, making this video. So hope you learned something. If you want to use and install your own ball joints, it's not that hard to do. Just make sure you put them on right, which I did not. And we'll get all this taken care of next episode. So I'm out of here.